Hello dinkum fans and welcome back to the channel. You guys, I know it has been a hot minute since I have done a dinkum video. Well, you are in luck. I am making a quarry. Now, the dinkum island that I'm working on is kind of very much a city inspired dinkum island where I'm going to have different mini towns connected by like a freeway. So this is the coastal quarry town of Cassiopeia, and so I wanted to do a quarry just because I think it would be fun. I haven't really seen many of them done, so I thought it would be kind of cool. Now I am using a mod in this particular instance to move all of the different gemmed rocks. So if you aren't using a mod, this might be a little bit trickier, but the quarry will actually dig up gemmed rocks over time. So you could potentially do this design. It'll just take a little while to get the gems, but you can definitely do it with just the regular rocks using the stone wand if you have been able to acquire that from the mines. Or if you're doing creative mode, then you can just use the dev menu to get the stone wand and do this. So I wanted to kind of use some construction materials like the wheelbarrow and the tractor, just to kind of give it the feel of a work yard. And so I'm just kind of using the stone wand to add more texture, add more depth, add more visual interest with sort of the stones. And I had found a fossil as I was kind of flattening everything, and I found a piece of amber as well. So I thought those would be kind of cool to work in the quarry as well. So the sort of processing center that I'm building here is very it's a very crude shape. Obviously working within the confines of what we have available. I think it would be, really it was really cool to make. I was very much inspired while I was building it. And I'd been in kind of a little bit of a decorating slump, and so I was so happy to get my inspiration back to finally be able to put out some of these builds for you guys. Now we're using the ramp here just to kind of add, some building like texture. And I went ahead and did like a cement kind of path on here, again, just to kind of make it blend in with the surroundings. And I wanted to use the crude furnace as kind of like smokestacks. So what I'm essentially doing here for this processing section, I wanted to simulate a conveyor belt. So we used the table, and then I used one of the furnaces, one of the higher end furnace, to kind of again drive home that idea of it sort of going down the conveyor belt into the processor. I was going to use the grinder at first, but then I thought, no, I kind of wanted something a little more industrial looking. So that's why we went with that. And now I'm just kind of making my rounds, putting sort of stones where I could. I thought this was really cool, using the cement fence just to kind of add a little bit of a funky border. I wanted something a little unconventional and very I don't know, just something different that I hadn't seen before. And so just kind of utilizing just the stanchions of the fence to kind of add a kind of cute, creative little border. And then interlacing all of the different gemmed rocks, I think, again, gave me that kind of feel of it being, definitely a quarry-like. So I'm going to have some dig sites that I think is also kind of a really cool additional element. So here we're going to have and you know how in most dig sites it's kind of cordoned off and it has, just different places around where they're digging. I thought it was an interesting kind of concept. And so we're going to put some rocks down below, like they actually hit something that they were working on. And I have a couple of different dig sites in this quarry. And I think it really does add to the overall feel of what we were going for. And so the campfires are actually an interesting addition because, again, I wanted it to feel like moving parts, right? So things are actually processing, things are actually getting done. Like they're taking all of the rocks that they find in the dig sites and they're processing them right there. And that's kind of what the repair table is meant to sort of signify, is just sort of the actual process of processing all of the things that they're finding. And so I wanted to add some cohesion and using sort of the same fencing all the way around. And I think that the cement fencing worked really well in this scenario because, again, it has that sort of industrial feel and it just has that it just had the feel that we were going for. So again, with the spinning wheel, I kind of wanted to have that kind of same idea, right? Where, they're pulling things, using it kind of as like a pulley. They're pulling everything up and they're processing it all through. And, it's just sort of all for the visual, And so I started to then think about the other elements that I wanted to include and sort of how to, because it was a large space. Like I didn't realize just how much real estate I was working with until I actually started putting everything down. And it was a little overwhelming at first because then I thought, oh God, I need to figure out how to fill up this space but not make it look clunky. And so we're bringing in some sort of natural elements, right, with the charging stations, just to kind of bring home that industrial feel. I kind of wanted to put the billikern down in the billikern down in the hole because, again, that illusion of processing, right? That's what they wanted to do. And I wanted some architectural interest as well, so definitely the silos, the water tanks, and very crude pathing, just to kind of get from one point to the next. And apparently this Kidna was really, really intrigued. It was really curious about what I was doing. And it followed me around the whole time, like a little pet. And it's kind of like those villagers in Animal Crossing, right? When you're trying to decorate or you're trying to build and they just won't leave you alone. That's the kind of problem that I was having with this Kidna. And then its friend joined, and then there were two of them suddenly. And then I was finding myself trying to work around them. So pretty much the whole idea between the pathing here is just to kind of connect all of the workstations together, and to kind of give your eye like a visual path on where to go and sort of the feel. And so I wanted to kind of give the buildings that look of, you could enter them, right? So that's what we did with the doors. And so I was trying to do symmetry here, and sometimes it works in my favor, other times it doesn't. But I wanted to add some greenery or some kind of beautification. So these desert peas are so beautiful. I love the pop of red. And, so this part of the map is very desert. And so there's a lot of that kind of reddish clay color. So I wanted to kind of break that up a little bit so that it just wasn't so overwhelming to the eye. And I think I achieved that pretty well. And so the windmill is mainly just for decorative purposes, just to kind of give that illusion of sort of like wind-powered, sort of, not only industrial, but very much, environment friendly, which is kind of the opposite of what a quarry is. But so as I had stated before, I wanted to kind of do multiple quarries. So we're going to have a small one over here so that there's multiple things working. And so, I have that illusion of the rock in the middle, right? So that it's pulleying up something. So if you remember, I had the gold velvet rope stanchions there. It didn't look the way that I wanted it to, and I actually had a couple of friends while I was doing this. They're like, I don't think that really goes. So I totally had a brain lapse and forgot that we had the rope fencing. So I switched out the gold stanchions for the rope, and I think it fit the vibe a lot more. Because, like I said before, some quarries, they have things cordoned off, just so that they can give that illusion, right, that things are working. So I think all in all, it turned out really, really well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And as always, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content. There will be much more of it to come, so stick around for that. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.